Hi everyone, I'm Magdalena Baciu, and it's my pleasure today to share learnings with the Experimentation community. For the past decade, I've been working with more than 100 businesses, helping them to increase conversion rate through customer-centric methodologies. I'm a data and user experience nerd, and everything I do reflects it. Now, as we go through the conversation today, feel free to reach out on LinkedIn if you have any questions. Santiago had this great idea to look at CRO trends that should stop. And while there's many CRO trends that should stop that come to my mind, I think one of the most misunderstood topic is the relationship between UX design and conversion copywriting. And that's why today we're going to go through why designing a landing page before writing the copy is a bad idea and what you should do instead. And to go through that in a simple manner, we're going to look at the main functions of landing page UX design and conversion copywriting and how the synergy between them works. Now, the bottom line concept is that UX design should act as a facilitator for the conversion copy. We're going to go through how UX design should enhance the emotions expressed by the conversion copy. We're also going to look at how minimizing the mental energy invested in taking a decision is going to increase the conversion rate, and why it's important that sometimes to accommodate longer form copy when needed. The truth is that what keeps people awake at night is not the urge for them to see a one-of-a-kind, impressive, creative website, right? What keeps them at night is specific problems and them looking for potential solutions for their problems. And that's why the website should start with understanding and defining how the conversion copy, how the words are going to connect with the user, and only after we're gonna add the UX design layer. Now let's look at the first function, which is enhancing the emotions expressed by the conversion copy. So UX design doesn't have to take over the attention, it needs to emphasize the value of the conversion copy. So that's how the user can connect easier with the business. And you're going to see that here and there, I love to take you off the realm of digital marketing and bring you in the offline of the daily life, because it's a strong connection between the two. Now, some of us might know that in the world of movies, a great music soundtrack enhances the feelings induced by the movie scene, while not taking the attention away from the storyline. And that's why a great movie soundtrack goes almost unnoticed. I have to say, I love watching history documentaries. So not 2 weeks ago, but about 2 months ago, I watched the Ottoman Empire series on Netflix, and then I went to the Cleopatra series on Netflix. Wonderful series. Nonetheless, the first episode had in the background as a soundtrack music some sort of electronic clubbing style music, which was very confusing for me, and I'm sure for most of the people who saw it, because it does create some sort of cognitive dissonance. You watch this magnificent story of Egypt and its leaders, while the background music, it's really some sort of electronic modern music that doesn't match the style of the storyline and the movie. So that was something very I struggled with to go through those first two episodes where I encountered this problem. And hopefully on the website there's no soundtrack music. But at a smaller level, at a smaller scale, um, compared to movies, the objective of a landing page is to connect, to make the prospects feel certain emotions and create trust. And you only can do that through words. Words that acknowledge their pains, words that help them understand how the solution is going to help them become a better person, and so on. So the first layer of a high converting website is always going to be the conversion copywriting and understanding how you connect with the users. After that, of course, there's the design layer coming in that needs to enforce the key emotions expressed by the copy each step of the way without taking over. Now, if you go on the com.com website,
This is Romo Santiago from Experiment Nation. Every week we share interviews with and conference sessions by our favorite conversion rate optimizers from around the world. So if you like this video, smash that like button and consider subscribing. It helps us a bunch. Now back to the episode.
which is the most popular sleeping and meditation app, you are going to see this homepage header. You can see they have this line in here, calm your mind and change your life, which is visually enforced by the image you see above with the mountain and the lake and the forest. And that's such a great idea to do. I really think, and this is an assumption, but I believe the team at Calm, they knew beforehand that their user base, the people who use their app, associate a calm state of mind with either the forest, the mountain, or the lake. And what a great idea to put all this three together to increase the connection between the users and the website. And I believe this is a great idea, great question to ask when you don't know, how should you match the copywriting with the design? And in this specific situation, it's easy because, they included this nature landscape picture. But what you can ask in these specific scenarios is, what does X emotion, specific emotion, mean to your users, and what they think of, what do they associate uh, that emotion with, right? Because that's more obviously, you can go back here and say, okay, like even a forest landscape is going to be wonderful, and any peaceful nature image is not going to work. Yeah, it's going to work, and I think it's a great way to go ahead. Now, if you have the resources to also ask a couple of questions to better understand what the association between the emotion and the image, and to go to your user to inform you what you should add in here, it's even better, of course. So that's the function of enhancing the emotions expressed by the conversion copywriting. Now, going to the second function, we're going to talk about minimizing the mental energy a user, a prospect, invests in taking a decision. Because the truth is, if the required mental energy needed to take the buying decision is higher than the available mental energy, prospects are going to decide to not decide. Maybe they're going to decide to postpone it, but the idea is that they're going to bounce off the website and come back or not, the likelihood they're going to be retargeted by a competitor, they're going to land on a different competitor website is pretty high. So it's better to do a better job from the very beginning and minimize the energy they invest in understanding if the solution is good for them or not. And we're going to assume that the conversion copywriting for your landing page is optimal, is there, all is good. It mirrors the language of your audience, it connects with them on different levels. But two other techniques you can apply to minimize mental energy is defining a strategic copy hierarchy that later on is matched by the design visual structure, and then also making it easy for the users, for the prospects to skim through the copy and find the answers they want through design visual cues. And we're gonna go through a few examples. The idea here is that yes, we invest a lot of energy to write the right optimal copywriting for a landing page, but we don't want them to read all the copy, to read through word by word the entire conversion copy you have on your landing page. Actually, that's a really bad idea. What we want to do is to guide them, to help them through the page to find the answers they are interested in. Because a landing page goes through multiple benefits and sections, and not all of them are equally important to all prospects. That's why we have this objective of guiding them through the sections and helping them find easier the answers they want. And just to give you an example, you can see here a hero section that has quite a few sections, conversion copy sections, but all the words, all the copy sections have the same visual weight, same font size style, same font size, and so on and so forth. So it's very hard for someone to understand what's the information they should read first because they don't have the time to read through everything. And imagine that there's a prospect landing on this page that's not solution aware and it's not brand aware. They're going to potentially go, if they're not solution aware, they're going to go and want to focus. They're going to skim through and want to find the benefits of this product. If they're problem and solution aware, but not brand aware, they want to be guided to find some social proof like a testimonial. All this is done unconsciously, but what's very clear is that they don't want to read everything and they need to be guided visually to the section they are mostly interested in. Now, if we add some visual cues, you can see that it's way easier to skim through and understand what's the piece of info that's of interest for you. And not only that, but where do you want to start reading? And that's how you minimize the mental energy invested to skim through the conversion copy, the copy on a landing page, and take the decision that fits you. Now, we can also go to Amazon, and you can notice in here that you have the Kindle Amazon page. That's fairly crowded, right? You look at it, it's like, okay, so many pieces of information. Isn't this the wrong way to do it? Isn't this too crowded? Well, the answer is that it is might be a little bit overwhelming, but through the visual cues and the way the copy was structured on the page, this section is actually very practical and functional. I bet that every prospect that goes on this landing page is going to find the information they're interested in under 2 seconds because it's very easy to follow and understand, what should I look if, I'm interested to have a very fast delivery. When should I order, the delivery, but by what hour today, by what time today should I order this product so it gets here Thursday and so on. But if we go one step ahead and we get out some of the visual cues, some of the visual therapy, and even we didn't remove it 100%, but part of it, it's still difficult to understand where to look first to answer the question you want. So that's one way of making UX design and conversion copy work. And that's why it's super important to first define the conversion copy you want to have on your landing page, and only after add the design layer, because design can mean and can make people feel different emotions, but the design is only gonna communicate the right emotion once backed up and guided by the messaging on the landing page. I highly recommend you to read this book, Don't Make Me Think, which is highly aligned with this concept of minimizing the mental energy invested in by prospects in taking a buying decision. And this book was first launched in 2013, I believe, and back then it was launched for UX designers and developers in mind. But it's such a good book that I highly recommend any marketer to read it. Good. We went through understanding how UX design should enhance the emotions expressed by the conversion copy. And we also look a little bit at the mental energy investment concept. Now, I like to look at the funny one that why I recommend accommodating longer form copy when needed, and why I actually want to talk about it. The truth is that there's two problems here. On the one hand, many times when there's a design predefined before writing the copy, or it's not, uh, the design is not predefined, but simply many UX designers have this insatiable appetite for making the copy shorter. Now, the idea is that a website should be customer centric, not design centric, right? A website should answer the questions of the prospects, not try to make those words accommodate a certain design style, because that's the wrong way to do it. So that's one, trying to fit, trying to cut the words, and instead of having a 10 words headline, we want to make it a 5 words headline, because it fits a certain website style. The second problem I see here is that most of us look at big companies like Adidas and Nikes as for sources of inspiration, and in some ways that's great. But for example, when we look at Nike, who does lead with an inspirational, vague copy, we look at a company that has already invested billions of dollars in awareness campaigns. So for them to say just do it or impossible is nothing, it's something they can do because the market awareness, it's huge when it comes to such big companies. And even for smaller companies, a vague inspirational headline is going to help convert the top of the funnel traffic, sorry, the bottom of the funnel traffic, but not the top of the funnel one. Because, if the prospects are problem, solution, and brand aware, and they have interacted with you for a few times, they're ready to buy, even if they see a vague headline and copywriting. But the truth is, if it's a cold prospect coming for the first time on the website, and they are not solution aware, or they're not brand aware, this is not enough. This kind of positioning and messaging is not clear enough why they should stay on the website and consider buying from you, because it's not clear, right? You might say, okay, but look, if they have a menu, it kind of guide them and help them understand what's your product about. Yes and no. I mean, part of them, they're going to know what a camera harness is. They have heard of the concept before, but part of them, maybe half of them, are not going to be aware of this solution. So again, some people are just going to bounce off the website without understanding what do you offer. And it might very well be a product they will buy straight away, but they don't have the patience to go to skim through the landing page, because it's just the first interaction they have with you, and they're not aware of the solution, they're not aware of your brand. So the time invested, they're willing to invest is very limited. Now, to give you a bit of context behind this product you see here, this company sells camera harnesses to help wildlife photographers to carry their heavy cameras and lenses for a whole day, while they take landscape photographs and all sorts of wildlife photographies. So that's where the website kind of fails to explain what they do. And if we go ahead and we look at the hero section that is very clearly mentioning what's the product about, what problem it solves, and what are the benefits it brings to the person who buys it. And on top of that, you also um, feature the product. That's way easier for somebody to know if this is the solution for them, and they're willing to spend more time on the website and even buy the product from you. Now, this is done generally writing an authentic um, copy that connects with the user and mirrors their language, it can only be done after you go through voice of customer research, and that's what we always do before writing the copy for an ad, for an email, for a landing page, because that's the only way you can relate, the user can relate to you and you can relate to the prospect on the website. And only by going from this vague headline to a research-informed copywriting, we increased the conversion rate by 61%, which is a huge win for the main landing page they had on the website, which was the homepage. Good. So now I know I mentioned voice of customer research, and some of them might say, "Well, what does that even mean? What's the voice of customer research?" Well, this is a very powerful technique that's applied before writing the copy for any marketing asset. In this situation, we talk about landing pages. So what generally conversion copywriters do, they go through the stage where they skim through, they analyze hundreds of customer reviews, they analyze tens of pages of customer interview transcripts, customer support chats, and so on. So by doing that, they're gonna put together a voice of customer report that simply includes the customer verbatim used by the prospects to describe the pains that make them trigger them to search for a solution, um, how they talk about the important attributes about a certain product and solution they need, and how do they describe the benefits of the product once they started to use it. So this is a comprehensive report with insights, with catchy words taken out of directly from the mouth of the prospect, that copywriters and marketers make sure to mirror across the marketing content assets, so there's a connection created between the business and the prospects. Now, I've been doing this manually myself for a decade now, so it's quite a tedious long process. You generally invest anywhere from 20 to 40% to create even an initial voice of customer report. That's why my team and I we're working for quite some time now to launch on Target AI, which I do highly recommend you to check it out and join the waiting list. Um, on Target AI is gonna optimize and automate the voice of customer research that I just mentioned and described before. Instead of you spending 20 to 40 hours to inform the way you write the conversion copy for your landing page, you are going to use on Target AI to do that in just under 5 minutes. And just a sneak peek into the product, you are going to be able to either web scrape hundreds of Amazon customer reviews or social media comments, or you just simply can upload your own customer language data if you have customer interview transcripts and all sorts of authentic voice of customer data that we can later use to generate the voice of customer report. So I highly recommend to check it out. We work hard to launch it as soon as possible. We expect the solution to come public in about 1-2 months. So make sure you subscribe, and we'll let you know via email when we are ready to welcome you and help you automate the voice of customer tedious process. Wonderful. So that was all. Hopefully this was practical and was helpful. I really enjoy walking you through this. And there's some more complex or simpler solutions to how UX design and conversion copies should come together. And I tried to cover the top three that I find most relevant for the conversion rate. I've been playing with A/B testing for many, many years, and I truly support investing resources in making sure that the conversion copywriting is built the right way based on the voice of customer, but also adding the UX design as an enhancing layer rather than an initial step in the process. Thank you so much. And if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, make sure you do that, and then you can also obviously send me an email. If you have any questions, I'll try to be as responsive as my schedule allows. Thank you so much, and wish you good luck with the conversion optimization journey. Bye.
This is Romo Santiago from Experiment Nation. Every week we share interviews with and conference sessions by our favorite conversion rate optimizers from around the world. So if you like this video, smash that like button and consider subscribing. It helps us a bunch.